Hey, morning, it's AJ. It's time for the May garden update. So I'm out here in my back deck. The tomatoes going pretty good. I also have the cucumber going over there pretty well. And as I swing around over here to the backyard, you see everything's kind of starting to come in pretty well out there. So I'll walk you down there and kind of show you what's going on. All right, so we have the archway here. I got my cucumbers starting to pop up and grow. We've been getting a lot of rain the last couple of weeks, so that's been doing pretty good. I have some sweet potatoes that just kind of popped up on their own from last year that are doing pretty decent. So that's not too bad. Been having to make a couple of repairs out here. I'll show you that in a minute. But in terms of what's in the garden, let me just give you a quick tour of kind of what's going on. We had picked up some shishito peppers, which a lot of different people were kind of raving about. It's kind of a Japanese style pepper, but they're really not growing very well. I don't know if it's the spot. I don't know if it's the plant. We'll see kind of what's happening. Green onion there is doing pretty good. The herbs are kind of doing their normal thing. Squash, I'm hit or miss with squash. You can see some of the plants here look really robust, and I'm getting, that's actually a zucchini over there. I'm getting a couple of zucchini, but not as many as I should. I'll show you, I have another plant over there that makes like a scallop squash. That's the way to go here down in Texas, I believe, or at least where I'm at. They grow really, really well. And then wherever you see the goat panels or the fences here, cattle panels, we have a lot of cucumbers kind of growing up around there. So that's all going to pop up around there and hopefully do pretty well. The apple tree here, still doing pretty decent. My other one over there is starting to leaf out already. You can kind of see that in the distance. I have my plum tree. That thing's really popping up really pretty good this year. I have a few more starter cucumbers. I'm probably not going to need those. So I don't know, I might just sporadically plant them around the yard. But as I walk around, the peach tree is leafed out pretty well. The peaches are still incredibly small, if I can find one. So the plant's growing well, but it's not really producing that many peaches. So hopefully in a couple of years or so that'll pop up and that'll change. Asparagus is doing pretty decent. I'm actually gonna probably pick some of that for breakfast this morning. I have some more sweet potatoes that just kind of popped up and did their own thing. I didn't videotape this, but if you remember from last year, I had kind of string going across the top there with strings going down to hold up the tomatoes. Well, the string on the top there just kept falling down. So we put some 1x1 pieces of wood up there this year and then tied some new string to it to hold up the tomatoes. So what we do out here is, as the tomatoes grow, like this one's grown a little bit, I'll pull out the suckers here that grow in between, like in the V there. You can pull those out, and then I'll just kind of wrap that string around like that, and that way it'll just grow up. And then once it gets to the top, I'll probably just trim off the top of the plant. But these are doing really, really well. All of the tomato plants. I have a mix. A lot of them are smaller. These little smaller like cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes, which everybody in the family eats. So those are probably our favorites. And those will produce, if we're lucky, all summer long. Now these are the squash that I was telling you about that grow really, really well here. These are like a scallop variety. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, smaller one here. They're like super tough and super hard. So their shelf life, like you can just pick them and they'll stay on your counter for weeks, months. Some of them are decorative. Oh, I got a little friend there. You can see him, that's my friend. But he'll go out here and eat all the bugs. But these grow really, really well. They spread out all over the place. So I probably have 4 or 5 more of those in there. And what we do with those is, like I said, it's pretty tough. But if you just chop it up really finely and put it into a stir fry or bake it, they're absolutely delicious. Yeah, I got a few more over there as well. So definitely recommend those scalloped. Then the rest of my peppers over here, these aren't shishito. They're a smaller variety that I got from Johnny's, but they're doing pretty well. So those will last me pretty much into late fall. At least when I did them last year, they did. So I was pretty happy with those. Garlic is doing really, really well, especially these two. So I think in the fall time when I plant garlic again, I'll do this whole bed here in garlic, because you can see those are pretty big. If you see my hand, those are pretty decent sized garlic. So I'll pull those out probably in a couple more weeks. Once the leaves start to die and turn brown, that it's time to harvest them. And I got a little bit more garlic down here. It's doing okay. I have a few more squash, yellow squash down here. Again, hit or miss. Once the bugs get into these, it's over. So as much as I'd like to kind of get them going, I've been having some problems. Okay, as I move over to the corner here, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I put some sugarcane in here. So the sugarcane is kind of blocked out a little bit right now from the sunflowers, which is fine. It's actually pretty cool. I got a whole bunch of butterflies and bees around the sunflowers right now. But sunflowers look great. They kind of fill up that space, give us a little bit of privacy. And then those will, you know, one big strong wind is going to knock those things down. So then that should give a chance for the sugarcane to kind of grow up. Sugar snap peas, they're on their last leg here. I should probably actually harvest some of these. They don't like the heat very much, so once the heat comes in, they're kind of done. And as I move down the line here, squirrels have been kind of going crazy, digging up holes everywhere in the yard, but you know, what are you going to do? As I look over here, my persimmon tree didn't do so good last year, but I really amended it with a lot of compost this year. I put a mulch layer of leaves down around it, so that's doing pretty good. I have a small sweet potato next to it. Again, another volunteer that just popped up. The fig tree is doing really, really well. I get 2 harvests of figs. I get like this early harvest. I got one right here, you can see. The early harvest isn't really that great. It's the later harvest that seems to be better for us. So most of those will drop off, and then we'll wait for the next one to come out. Then I have my pomegranate trees. I got the one here and one here. I trimmed them way back last year and they just pop right back up. So that was pretty cool. The banana tree, the red banana tree, same thing. I thought I lost it in the freeze, but it popped back pretty good. I have another plum tree here. This one is growing really, really well. So if you're looking for any type of tree that's going to grow well in Texas, let me just take a look at the tag here for you. This is called a Rosa plum. And for some reason that seems to be growing really, really well here. So if you're looking for some type of fruit tree, you might want to give that a shot. It hasn't fruited yet, so you know, I can't tell you the quality of the fruit, but in terms of the growth, it's pretty good. And as I move down the line here, my hazelnut tree, it's a slow grower, but it's been growing. I've been pulling off a lot of my comfrey that I get here. I plant the comfrey next to it and kind of use it as a fertilizer. So I just drop that down and that'll decompose and give the plant some nutrients. Then moving down the line here, I have one more decorative flower that I bought from HEB last year, just stuck it in the ground. It kind of popped back, so pretty happy about that. I have 2 mulberry trees, same thing with those. They're growing really, really well. So very happy with that. Blueberries, I made a video on blueberries. Here's my $200 blueberry. It's still not ripe yet, so in the fall time I'll probably rip all the blueberries out and put them in pots and go from there. And then finally, as I go down the line here, I think the only thing I really have left here is this strawberry bush that I've been experimenting in different parts of the yard. It really hasn't gotten much bigger than that, but we'll see kind of over time. Anyway, that's all I got. Thanks for following along, watching the video, and I'll try to put another video out next month. Thanks. Bye.